All right, Mets fans, it's me, Big Rick, and I'm here to talk to you about the firing of Luis Rojas. But before I continue with this video, please smash the like button below. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. It lets them know that you enjoy my content, helps me grow this page, and I would appreciate it as much as possible. If I could, I'd hug you all. So here we go. Luis Rojas. New York Mets move on from manager Luis Rojas after third place finish in NL East. This guy's honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I honestly never liked the hiring of Luis Rojas. We ended up 77 and 85. In here, it talks about at some point, the Mets were in first place for most of the year, even though due to a lot of injuries. But it does mention at some point that he was considered for manager of the year. Where the heck was that for? Expected to challenge for the playoffs or even a pennant with $341 million newcomer Francisco Lindor shortstop. New York led the division for 9 straight days despite a wave of injuries. Rojas drew praises for his steady hand and communication skills, even garnering mention as a potential manager of the year candidate. I like to say one thing about that. I'm out here on the West Coast. I was born and raised in Elizabeth, New Jersey. So I used to watch the Mets on SNY and WPIX 11. Now that I live on the West Coast, which I hate, but I'm out here, I have to watch my Mets through Amazon Prime. So, and I get a lot of my sports talk through ESPN. I listen to podcasts and FS1 and stuff like that. I never heard anybody mention Rojas for manager of the year. So this might be an overstatement and an overreach by ESPN. So I'm going to say no, he was never going to be mentioned. He was never going to get manager of the year. Even if the Mets had made the playoffs, we were barely going to make it with probably like 88 or 89 wins like the Braves did. You had 200 win teams in the National League and 100 win team in the major leagues. So, no, I don't think so. They go on to blame it basically on us losing Jacob deGrom and people not hitting like Michael Conforto, Jeff McNeil, Dominic Smith, James McCann. They all fought the plate, leaving Pete Alonso to carry the load. Okay, this is all true. Michael Conforto did not hit, and I said that last year's hitting for Michael Conforto was a mirage due to the shortened season and the fact that the pitching wasn't as dominant as it was this year. This year, the pitching was way better than last year. His numbers reflect that. Jeff McNeil, I don't know what happened to Jeff McNeil. Jeff McNeil reminded me of Joe McEwing, where he was that energy, that spark plug that the Mets always needed. This year, I don't know what happened. Second half, it just didn't seem like the same Jeff McNeil. He seemed off. There was something wrong with him. I don't know if the trade for Javier Baez bothered him, but something was not right with Jeff. And I hope it gets righted. I hope it's not like he has something against the organization, like he's disgruntled, because I don't want to hear about him wanting to be traded, because he is honestly, besides deGrom, my favorite Met. I mean, Pete Alonso is awesome though, but Jeff McNeil, he's just that guy that has that it factor for me. And I just love when guys like that are on my team. The last time we had someone like that, and it pissed me off when we traded him, was when we had Turner. And then all of a sudden we traded him, and then everybody's like, oh, it doesn't matter. Turner is nothing. And look what he turned out to be. Dominic Smith. Dominic Smith, I believe, will be better next year, because next year they're bringing back the DH to the National League. I hate the DH, honestly. I hate it. I think it takes away a lot of the nuance of the game. And I hate that baseball is forcing this down National League's throat. But if we're going to have it, at least we have Dominic Smith. And I think that's his natural position. I don't want him in the outfield. I think he belongs as a DH hitter. James McCann. I think the issue with him was, I've seen this before, where someone goes from the American League to the National League, all of a sudden they can't hit, or they go from National League to American League, they can't hit, and they're known for being a decent hitter, and all of a sudden something's wrong. But then after a year, it gets righted. I don't know why, but it happens. And I'm hoping the same thing happened with Lindor. I'm hoping next year, all of a sudden, he figures out how to hit. Because if we run this back with this team, let's say we bring back Conforto, and let's just look at our free agents. So if we bring back Stroman, which we should, I think we should definitely bring back Stroman. He's a great pitcher for us. If we bring back Conforto, Baez, bring back Brad Hand, let go of Dylan. Jurice, I'm sorry, you gave me a heart attack too many times. You're not worth it. Noah Syndergaard, I'll bring you back on a minimum contract. I'm not bringing you for $29 million. I'm not signing you long term until you can prove you can stay healthy. VR, Kevin Pillar, Aaron Loup, Rich Hill, they can all come back. And the last three, Jared Heath and Cameron can walk. And we'll bring back we'll sign some other players here and there. If you bring back those players, you have a really solid team. You just need the right manager. Who's the right manager? I don't know. But I do know this. You have some great teams here that won 100 games. Tampa Bay, San Francisco, Los Angeles. You've got teams that almost won 100 games. The Brewers, the Astros. You can pick from those teams. I would stay away from the Astros because they have too much of negative vibe from them. And I just don't want anything to do with the Astros. So, but I would look into Tampa Bay. I'll look into the Red Sox. I'll look into the Yankees, White Sox. Maybe not the White Sox too much. I want a team that recently won a championship or has at least played for a championship. Dodgers would be good. Just pluck someone from that organization and bring them over and just to teach our guys what it takes to win. And when things are going bad, they'll be able to make the adjustments that are needed to win. Because that's the thing, Luis Rojas could never make the right adjustments. His adjustments never made any sense. And I can guarantee you, I'm just going to throw a number up there, but at least between 10 to 15 games, he cost us with his game plans or his game adjustments. Because he never, ever made proper adjustments or thought out game plans for teams. It was just like basically the same thing over and over and over. And he never tried to fix any of our issues. So it was just like, almost like the first half of the season when we were up, and he was thinking, oh, okay, well, we can handle all these injuries. I don't have to do anything to change the lineup or do anything like that because we'll find a way to win because we've done it in the first half. Well, just because you did something in the first half doesn't mean it's going to work in the second half. Baseball's a marathon. It's different than most sports. It's 162 games. And the Mets had a whole bunch of these double-header games. Remember, we had so many rainouts. It was ridiculous how many double-header games we had. And there was just no adjustments. And I just want a manager who knows what the hell they're doing. So I don't know. In the comments below, you tell me which manager you want to see, or is there a manager you want to see from one of these teams, like an assistant coach or something like that, or a manager who's retired that you want to see coaching our team? What players would you keep? What players would you let go of? Is there a trade out there that you would like to see done? Who would be included in that trade? You let me know, and I'll read your posts and comments and see if if I agree or disagree with any of them, and we'll get back to you. And hopefully there are better news for the Mets coming soon, because I mean, I know it's going to be a long off season and there's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of changes, guys. So we're going to have to stay tuned and listen. This is just the first domino to drop. So expect a long season, off season for the Mets. See you guys soon. All right.